All right. So let's make sure this thing's running. My sinuses decided to go crazy the last couple days, so I'm gonna sound a little out of it here, but whatever. Let's see. Make sure this thing's running. Everything's good. Let's see. Yep. Make sure hear the echo. All right. All right. Easter. Easter fell on 420 of all things. All right. So my purpose here today is I was kind of curious. Um, so I've never been the guy to care which cops are doing what. You know, which cops win the room, all that sort of stuff. I mean, Levi, we all know, but Pittsco, we all know. But I mean, other than that, I guess I never really cared. It was never in my wheelhouse. But lately, I've been been kind of interested in that. So, and I think I've been kind of spreading some false names out there when I talk about these cops because I don't even know. And I've been told I'm wrong in a couple places. So, yeah, I was kind of go through this and see what I could find. But yeah, I was kind of gonna go through some of the body cam, see if I can, kind of figure out who's what. It's kind of random. It's some random. I thought I was pretty good. May as well do it live. Um, so I used to know this guy's name. I don't remember. I don't really care too much. That's not what I'm here for. The ones I'm really interested in are later in the video.
So who's calling him in? Because this guy's been 419 for a minute.
All right, so this guy with the hat, baseball hat. I always felt that was Corey. What did I say his name was? Someone saying his name is shit. I have to open up the someone sent me supposedly what his name was. It's not O'Donnell. Well, obviously, yeah, it's not O'Donnell. Let's say his name was. Let's see. Brett Brosnahan? Yeah, Brosnahan. So supposedly the guy with the baseball has Brett Brosnahan. Now I don't have his statement pulled up. I wish I did. But I don't take very good notes, so it'd take me the rest of the night to find it. So I ain't gonna do that. I was just gonna go through a body cam and see what I could discern from the body cam and the various conversations going on within the body cam. But here we have. We're gonna have them walk by, I believe, in this video. They're gonna walk into the room, and I believe that's where these two first come into the scene. Which kind of what's giving me the problem with this. Oh, they already came in. Because that's what I'm looking for. This is the guy with the boonie hat. There he is. So he's already in the room at this point. I'm trying to find the point where he comes in the room. Because you get a pretty good look at him when he comes in the room.
Yes, and this appears to be cameras.
We don't need the volume. I'm leaving the volume very low right now because this isn't Wembley. Actually, probably should.
Probably from when he did the thing.
Okay, listen up, guys. As soon as we finish clearing all these doors in this hallway.
He's already in the room. We got a moment where he actually walks in the room, and Bitsko's actually outside the room at the time of that. We actually do see them both walk into the room.
Other charge that's in the stairwell.
Yep. Second charge. Second charge in the stairwell.
Oh, okay. So this is the detonation. So it was I can't remember how many minutes it was after detonation. I know when the window thing was after detonation. Okay, so that's after detonation. And eventually they'll back out.
Everybody back out.
Back out. Everybody back out. Coming out. Coming out. Coming out.
Now, is it me or is that smoky? Does it look like there's a lot of smoke in that hallway? I mean, could just be the camera, I guess, but this looks a little smoky to me. You can't even see the end of that hallway there. Let's rewind it a little bit. Get a good look down that hallway.
Back out. Everybody back out.
See, that looks really smoky.
Coming out. Coming.
I mean, look at that mirror. You can barely see him in it. It's interesting. I know it's dark and stuff in there, but
Coming out. Coming out.
yeah, I mean the lights are reflecting off of something. So the lights are hitting something. There's a lot of smoke in that hallway. Of course, we got the wind blowing on the cart, which yeah, it's been debated ad nauseum at this point, man.
Why? What happened?
Lock that door. Get ready to walk through. We got a
Is that where he was shooting?
There's guns at both spots. So that's our shooter.
Okay, we got one suspect.
All right, so here he's describing what happened, and I think it's the dude with the baseball hat, which again they're saying is Brosnahan is what I'm being told. Dude with the boonie hat, which saying is Corey, which is weird to me.
Down, 419 inside. Just this is clear. This is clear.
Okay. What was the shots fired in here?
Well, they did an explosive bullet breach. It was Levi. Okay, it was Levi.
Everyone's good?
Oh,
Okay.
oh, it's Donald.
So it's O'Donnell. Now there's dude with the baseball hat just now walking in. Okay, so that tells me he was talking to him, but I guess it could have been huddled around him. All right, and there we go. There's dude with boonie hat. I always thought this was O'Donnell, and I thought this was O'Donnell from the beginning, man. I mean, that's an old memory because I know somebody told me that way back in the day, man, and I just bought into it because, you know, there are people other than me that actually cared about which cops were which cops were doing what. And I don't remember who the fuck it was that told me that, but, you know, I blame everything on Mofonius, but nah, it probably wasn't. But yeah, that's not O'Donnell. And that's what kind of led me down this road because they're saying O'Donnell fired the shots. This guy ain't even in the fucking room yet. And if he was in the room and left the room, you know, they would have just turned around. Oh, you fired him, you know? So yeah, that's kind of a wonky conversation if that's O'Donnell.
Okay.
Just be careful. You're stepping up. You're stepping up.
Okay.
Well, now it's time.
Yes, and this appears to be cameras.
Kind of crazy that you wouldn't even know for sure. You'd be like, this appears to be cameras. And you're just marching around it. You're all huddled around it. It's kind of weird. Kind of crazy. Now, I'm not throwing any context into that. I'm just saying it's not the safest thing I would think. But I mean, at this point, I guess they're pretty sure it's cameras. But damn, dude. I mean, you know, the camera housing on the bottom, man, that was a pretty big chunk of housing. So you could probably fit some shit in there. But then again, why would this dumbass take a camera and pack it with, you know, shit like that and use that when a camera itself is already fishy as fuck?
Probably from when he did the thing.
When he did the thing.
Okay, listen up, guys. As soon as we finish clearing all these doors on this hall.
And see, this is why I thought this was Corey, man, because everybody keeps talking to Corey like Corey's in charge or something like that. But this guy comes out and he starts barking orders. And I don't know, man. They're telling me I'm wrong, but fuck, dude, for some reason, I think this is Corey. Hey, happy Easter, man. Happy Easter.
Oh, wait.
And this is why I'm doing this, right? I'm curious who this fucking guy is, man, because they're telling me the guy at the baseball has Brett Brosnahan, but oh man, I don't know, dude. Every time you hear people talking to Corey, like Corey's in charge.
Recheck them. They've locked this hallway down. Post 2 patrol guys right here for me, okay? Start clearing back that direction so we meet up in that center rotunda area. This room right here goes to this suite. Do we have master keys? That's clearing it right now.
And see, that's the guy with the hat. So the guy with the hat, the baseball hat, is the one giving orders right now.
Cleared, right? We're cleaning it right now.
cleared.
Yep. This needs to be cleared. So leave 2 here on this door. Leave 2 here on this door. Start rechecks all the way back down.
Hey, do you guys have a master to this door? Do you guys have a master key?
Every room has been cleared.
We gotta now recheck it. Everyone, we're gonna check
Every room. No, that's the last one.
He doesn't have. I don't think these guys carry. You know, he ain't gonna carry name on that vest.
Who's going? Steven, Brett. Okay. In the suite. Mandalay Bay. Back here. Go back to the number 135. Break. Shots were fired. IRC review. And suspect is down inside. Heavy arm is down inside. Positive self-inflicted.
Got security in the hallway right there.
If you could relay that to PC or have your SWAT one.
You're covered. You're not coming from.
Whole hallway is clear. Recheck. Okay. Yep.
Dude, what's he got? What is that gun, dude? Is that a silencer?
Look for down persons. What that recheck? All right, here. Start. Coming out. Where's Mike? Silver. Make sure everybody stays out. All right.
So there's the boonie hat, man. So they're saying that's Corey Mickelson or whatever. It's just weird, man, because you know when the guys are yelling, "We're coming!" You know, it's us. They're saying Corey. It's just weird because this guy wasn't there until just recently. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys. This is done. If you need to go elsewhere and help out, let's do it, okay?
All right. Hey, Levi, are these your gloves on the ground? Just so we know.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Those are Levi. Just make sure. Okay. Just make sure nobody goes into any of these rooms or touches any of this stuff. Okay. Security's going to stay here. They're going to keep people on the stairwell. Okay.
So, what do you think Levi's looking at? What do you think he's looking at?
Okay.
You're going to stay here, Travis? Okay, listen, Travis is going to stay here. Go with them. Would you go with that team down there? She's with me. Okay, she's with me. Okay, what are you guys doing down here? The Intrepid has it, you guys go with this team down here. Wings that this floor is in has been cleared.
Is it me or is that Varston Hendricks? I mean, again, I'm not the guy that usually looked at stuff like this, but is that Varston Hendricks that was just right there? This guy just put his hand on that person's shoulder. Is that Varston Hendricks? Looks like Hendricks. Oh, can't tell.
Intrepid has it, you guys go with this team down here. Wings that this floor is in has been cleared. The other wings on this floor still need to be. Okay, Kevin, this room is contained. We don't need anybody else up here. We've got probably at least 10 high-powered weapons in this room. Next. Sarge, what do you got going there?
Hey, guys.
So, I mean, I guess that could have been the guy at the boonie hat talking right there, because I believe that's Corey. It's talking on the radio right there, telling him what's going on. But could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Going for him right now. Kevin, you copy?
We can see one hand. We can see one hand on his gun, but no.
Got it.
That's fine. Just let him shut.
Oh, it's Levi. It's Levi talking.
Have this contained. There's no need for anybody else up here. If there's other situations going on, then let's address those. We're a code 4 here. We've got patrol units that are clearing down the
Hey,
rest.
Jair, I can't tell what direction this room is. Let me get to a window and see.
Hey,
What do you need, Levi?
Sarge!
Okay, well, that fits. You know, somebody said, I have no idea what direction we're facing. Let me get to a room with window and see. I got dude with the boonie hat. The guy everyone's telling me is Corey. He's over there. The dude with the baseball hat's not. Not yet. He will be in a minute.
We do not have a broken window.
All right, so we hear we do not have a broken window. We got both of them at that window right now. This is where the disconnect happens for me, because you have both these guys, the baseball hat and the boonie hat, sitting in front of that window.
Right where that curtain is, right by the door.
Okay, I think they're right. Yeah, I think they're absolutely right. Yeah, that was a good call, man. Straighten me out. It's good. I need to be straightened out once in a while. So at least makes more sense to me. So when we hear him say, see, that's where the problem was with me, right? He says we have curtains open on a window that is broken or some bullshit like that here.
That curtain is right by the door.
But see, the one sitting in front of it is going to be the guy with the baseball hat. But if you see the guy with the boonie hat, he's got his hand on the mic. Yeah, so he's the one talking on the radio.
Go ahead, Todd. Copy that.
Already done. It's right here.
Is it? Okay. They had security down at the elevator banks as well. Got it?
Okay. So, yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. Let's just get a little further into this. I want to look at another video. But I think that's absolutely right. All right, so I love using this guy's video. I love this video. This video was great. I'm getting a lot of mileage out of this video. Good old Concerned Citizen, man. Concerned Citizen did a great job in this video.
If you could relay that to TP or have your SWAT one relay over. Hey, they removed your video flying out on the 32nd floor. Suspect possibly down, self-inflicted. Whoever's up there, please mark the window with some type of chin stick or something.
Over. Hey, listen, guys. You need to go elsewhere and help out. Let's do it.
There we go. Anybody on the 32nd floor, can you copy my radio? Yeah, go ahead. All officers code 4. All officers are code 4.
Okay, we can't see his hands here.
Down. The suspect is down from 419. Appears to be self-inflicted.
Okay.
Is there any more?
Honestly, at this point, he may have this wrong. I think it's Levi talking.
Suspect with you. Negative.
No offense, bro, but yeah, you may have that wrong. Let's see in a minute here, because we'll see when they pan out. We'll see what's his name, Levi talking on his radio.
Yeah, we only have the one suspect who appears 419 this time. Has the room been cleared? The room has been cleared. We have protection in the room. What else needs to be cleared up on that floor? Already done it. The wing that this floor is in has been cleared. The other wings on this floor still need to be cleared, Kevin. Coming out.
He may be right. He may be right. I'm not going to play with the brightness or whatever, but you see, it looks like he has his left hand up on his radio right here.
Coming out. Okay, Kevin, this room is contained. We don't need anybody else up here. We've got probably at least 10 high-powered weapons in this room. It's on the 32nd floor. I'll stand by. See what they want to sit to their tip. Whoever's on that 32nd floor, the north-facing window.
That's where I have a problem, though, and that's Levi, right? Is that Levi? Is that Levi? Yeah, I think that's Levi, right? I don't know. Yeah, I think it's Levi. So he's got his hand on the mic like he's talking.
That one's open now also. Units moving to the 32nd floor. CP. Well, here I can't tell what direction this room is. Let me get to a window and see.
Okay, yeah, that's not Levi.
You guys have a window that faces east. You have another broken window out that we're focusing on. But we just need to make sure if you guys are in there or not because there is a little bit of movement. Target's clear. One suspect down. All officers are code 4. Keep pushing. We still have to do a sweep for victims. Keep pushing. Okay, here. We are facing north. Just confirming that is you guys. That's in the broken window that faces the left floor. We are facing the left floor. We do not have a broken.
Now, if you want to have like a conspiracy, if you want to go crazy conspiracy with this shit, they're not standing in front of a broken window. And again, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but if you wanted to, confirming that as you guys, that's in the broken window that faces the Luxor. So they're asking who's in the broken window that faces the Luxor. Nobody is, at least not at this moment. So you want to push something like that, you could. I would push back on that and say, well, these guys are just talking about there's movement behind that window. They see that window moving, and they're seeing heads walk around this room. But it's interesting.
We are facing the left shore. We do not have a broken window.
So as of their statement of that, they're not in front of the broken window. Nobody is.
Oakland County, it looks like you might have another room that has a broken window that also.
If I was Hoover, I would capitalize on that shit. But it is what it is.
Faces the Luxor off that north end. So a little bit of movement, unknown if it's going to be a curtain or not. I'm going to be working to get better options. Okay, stand by. We've got certain section on a window that's not broken. We're looking for broken. Okay, it is that. We have the broken window. That's us, scared.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't hear anybody say anything about. I didn't hear. Was this? This is Brett Brosnan. I guess they're saying it's the guy looking out the window right now. I didn't hear him say anything, but there's so much commotion in this video. He could have told him, "Hey, man, it's right here, dude." I guess. Yeah.
When I
5-star wanted level. Oh, it's gonna push me into a video about. Some Grand Theft Auto meme. So, I guess that's
Let me contact Elton.
I guess that completely makes sense, right? Completely makes sense.
Security's right here. They're right outside the door, Corey.
Okay. What we got here? Our little was that I found out that's fire extinguisher. I think I was saying bear mace last time. That's fire extinguisher. OBSA found the exact brand of that fire extinguisher, which I mean, I was trying, but I think I was looking at bear mace at the time, so I just had the wrong thing that I was looking for because I couldn't find it for the life of me. But yeah, that was a fire extinguisher. He showed me you buy these things on Amazon, Tundra. Computer looks like nothing on it, which kind of it's kind of a weird image, man, because I thought this looks like this is a camera program. Let's see if we can get it. This guy moves his chin.
That's the wall we have here in photo place match very close to the suspect.
We had it for just a split second there. Where are we at?
That's the wall we have here in photo.
Because what you have on there is you have a button that looks like a play button or yeah, fuck. This is gonna be rough to get that. But looks like it has a button to basically hit for record. It's gonna be right. Oh, I almost got it. But yeah, there's like a little white button on this computer screen, which usually indicates like a play button or something of that nature. Or not play button, but a record or photograph or something like that. So, but screen's blank, right? So if it was hooked up to the door, then it's probably disconnected at this point. In the report, the final report, it's disconnected, but at this point in the night, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. They were trying to be careful stepping on cables because they weren't sure what those were. But But yeah, that was definitely some sort of surveillance thing. And then you had over here, you had the baby monitor. Oh God, the control for it. The baby monitor, I realized, was facing the door. Looked through the final report, said that the baby monitor was facing the door, which I never even realized before. A lot of people said he never used a baby monitor. He might have been using it just to watch the door. I mean, this guy's racing between rooms. So if he's in 134, he could have had his, he could have been using that so he could tell if the breach happened while he was in the other room. I'm guessing. But yeah, I think the baby monitor was actually in use because it's up here with all this shit. At least the remote for it is. And in the final report, it says the baby monitor was facing the door. So, and yeah, I mean that's the table. That's what it looked like in the fit report photos. We got Paddock's. Is that Paddock's head bleeding out right there? Looks like Paddock's head bleeding out. Looks like there's something in the blood. Probably what a shell casing that's getting a flash off of it. Getting a reflection. Yeah, that's his dead ass. Okay. So there you go. Yeah, you see like you got like a button over here. And some of the other photos, some of the other footage, especially the ones that are put out by the mainstream media, because it seems like if you watch a lot of the mainstream media stuff, the killer on the 32nd floor, shit like that, it seems like they got better footage than we got. It seems like they have. Because I've talked to LVSA, he said he basically uploaded this the best he could with the, he said this is basically what they gave him. So I think what the production companies came after, they gave them a little more high fidelity footage. So that's interesting. Here's the smoke detector and what a CO2 detector, I'm guessing. So when that door blew in, all that shit might have kicked up into this. That might be why those set off. And they didn't set off when he was shooting the powder out the window. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it was smoky in that fucking hallway. It's still smoky in here. You can see the lights got that crazy refraction on it in the doorway there.
That's correct. That's the info we got on the wall, and we got from that flashlight.
So I think I've satisfied my curiosity as far as who was who up there. Again, it's like that was never my thing in the past. I never cared. Like I was always like, man, cop's a cop, dude. I don't give a shit what their names are. But lately I've kind of cared a little bit more. You see, it's a little rounder. You see a little better that it's a round button on that thing. So it definitely looks like some sort of camera program on that computer. Which the only thing I can think of is it's set up to the people cam. I mean, I think that's what everyone thinks, but I'm guessing that's what that is. So if we think about that, because I believe in the final report it says that, I believe it says that the Logitech cam, was it, on top of the cart was facing the stairwell? I always thought that was bullshit, but I think it was facing the stairwell. The camera at the bottom was facing down the hallway. So when he was in 134, you could see the stairwell, you could see the hallway. So he had a pretty good view of things. When he was in this room, he had the baby monitor. Well, he had the baby monitor wherever he went, right? So he can always tell when the room was breached, if it got breached while he was doing this. The peephole cam he had in this room so he could see down the hallway. He also had that other camera, the ANRAN, with the monitor there where he could see down the hallway a little bit better with that, I'm guessing. I'm thinking that was probably a little bit better than this thing. But from this room here, he couldn't see the stairs. He couldn't see the stairwell bank. But yeah, I guess he didn't care when he was in this room. Maybe he figured as long as he was in this room, fuck it, he's gonna go down in a blaze of glory. If they came up that stairwell somehow and banged down his door, he was gonna come out shooting. If he was in 134, he was probably gonna had a different plan. He's gonna who knows, close the door, so they couldn't get in there easily, and then start shooting down that stairwell. I don't know.
Are we hearing any more 434s or suspects in Mandalay? Shall we put on New York and possibly Aria?
New York was confirmed as no, and then there was anyone at Cedar.
So who's calling him in? Because this guy's been 419 for a minute. This guy's been 419 for a minute in here. So who's calling these in, I wonder? No, you self-inflict this. You got wires. Yeah, he has an intricate camera system set up out to this, so he knew when officers were coming down the hallway.
Intricate camera system. Now I need to figure out who O'Donnell is, which you probably figure it out. But yeah, I mean that's the next one. I got to figure out who the hell that is. So I don't know if we got a lot of footage of O'Donnell.
As far as citizens, a lot. That's what it sounded like at the beginning. I got here with Dave and grabbed two patrol guys and cleared up to this floor. Ran into Levi when we dealt with it.
Casinos are all cleared and everything like that.
I mean, patrol cleared. That's just a good patrol cleared.
See, I can't tell who that is on his right. That's O'Donnell. If that's Levi. Doesn't look like Levi. So man, that's the infamous O'Donnell. So interesting thing, man. We had an interesting discussion the other day, and I don't know if I had that in the general chat on the Discord, or if we had that in the private, because we're arguing about it a little bit. But we're thinking, or I was thinking, what if O'Donnell, because it's kind of weird, right? They didn't pull him from duty after this. I don't think he got in trouble in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he got reprimanded. I don't know. He could have, but I didn't hear anything about that. And what if he did that on purpose? What if that spray was on purpose? Now trying to figure out like how that breach happened is complicated, because my guess is they stacked up in this hallway right next to where his restroom is, because that's where the best cover is going to be for something like that. But that would indicate that O'Donnell should have went in first, because you wouldn't shoot into the back of one of your dudes. So but who knows where Levi went, right? Because Levi obviously set the charge and then ran the charge back, God knows where, but he could have run it back into this hallway. Levi could have been second in the stack, setting off the charge, and then O'Donnell could have, knocked out a couple rounds into the room. Now, this is just like speculation. It's crazy speculation, but it's based off a couple things. I'm trying to figure out, like, why do we not have any footage of that room? Why are we limited to just this one body cam that didn't catch the second breach? And what was those secondary shots about? And of course, like I said, why didn't he get pulled immediately and basically told to go fuck home, sit this one out? We were thinking it's possible that was part of that was part of how they breached, right? Extraordinary circumstances. So they decided to fire off a weapon, which is extremely dangerous in a place like this, man. And when you have journalists out there like Doug Papa, stuff like that, who are just criticizing the shit out of the LVMPD tactics, I could see, not us, not YouTube idiots, because they don't give a shit about us, but when you got people that are, kind of mainstream news talking trash, getting the word out there, you probably don't want to admit that one of your tactics is kind of something you use in Fallujah, where you're shooting into the room, get somebody's head down so that, when you breach, they're hiding behind something most likely. So when you're running into the room, they're going to be down. I don't know, there's no way to really tell, but I mean, and it's hard to say, right? The spray on that thing, if we look at, let me see if I can pull up the final report. If I got it up, I don't know. I may have it up. I don't think I do though. Let's see. No, that's not. No, it's not it either. Let me see if I can get it up. Because it's one of those things that we sunk a lot of time into trying to make this make sense back in the day. I remember me and JB, man, going over this over and over and over. Oh my God, it was crazy. But like trying to figure out like what is up with those shots? Where was he standing when those shots happened? I mean, same thing with Paddock. We're trying to figure out like where's Paddock standing, when he was shooting out the window. But it's just kind of an interesting little thought experiment. They're gonna find I gotta find the room here. Okay, it's not that. It's is it on that page? No, it's not on that page. It's on that page. There it is. So with something like this, at the time we were talking about it, what made most sense to me, because one bullet, let me see if I can find it again. If I can find where they describe it. Let's see, is the bar kitchenette, rolling case, the what's in the bar counter, ANRAM monitor. No, not interested. Black glove. Southwest corner bars, a sink. There were 2 loaded rifles, fire extinguisher. Oh, there it is. Tundra fire extinguisher on the sink counter. Yeah, okay. Shit, I should read better next time. Or start asking dumb questions. But the southeast living room. There we go. This is where we want. So let's see. To the southeast living room was east of the bar kitchenette at the east end of the couch cushions were off of the east couch and piled on the north couch and on the floor. Why he did that? No idea. A table and 4 chairs were up against the north side of the north couch. I get why he did that. He wanted that out of the way. A side table was west of the north couch. A Meade spotting scope. Yeah, we know about spotting scope. Piece paper. Yeah, an open black suitcase. There are 3 casings on the floor to the west of the side table and the east end of the east-west hallway. Okay, so that little hallway is the where the bathroom's at. So we're talking about the east end. I don't fuck. I believe the room was facing north, right? So east would be inside the room, I believe. The 3 cases on the floor west of the side table and at the east end of the east-west hallway. West of the side table. Okay. Yeah, it's so bullets eject. Yeah, it makes no sense, bro. That makes no fucking sense. Yeah, that makes no fucking sense. There's a bullet hole through. Okay, well, here's a better picture. A bullet hole through the east arm of the orange chair, 2 bullet holes into the entertainment center cabinet along the south wall, and 1 bullet hole into the south wall between the entertainment center cabinet and the connecting door. Okay, so there's a hole in the door, right? All right, so this is kind of what we're working with right here, and this, I think, would have been the view of where he was firing, right? We can see, and I don't think I can zoom in good enough here on this. I really don't. But we can see one of the holes right here into the entertainment center. I am not sure, but I think that is another one right below the television. I could be wrong, though. And then there's one into the chair. There's a one in the bed, which I think might have been this bed, because one of them went through the door. So where was this dude standing? Where's this dude standing? You know, because the problem you have also is when the gun ejects bullets, it ejects them up and to the right. So where these landed would be right next to the table with the 2 glasses on it. So the only place I could put him where that would kind of make sense is, you know what? Nah, because up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right. So they're bouncing down here somewhere, or they're landing down here. They're landing behind this bar over here, next to this end table, I believe is what they're talking about. So how's that happen, right? Up and to the right. So where is he? Is he up here behind these chairs, these stools? I guess that's possible. And as the breach happened, immediately after, he fucking plugged out a couple rounds. That would make a little bit of sense, because if there was actually a hole in the bed and through the door, which I'm not seeing a hole through this door, but if there was a hole through the door and through this orange chair, so we're talking about going, man, you know, this thing here, this bullet looks like it's coming at a glancing angle. And then if that's the case, we didn't see the other one because the other one went through the room. Okay, so here's another this is probably a better picture to kind of go off of for this. Right, so we had 2 bullets supposedly through the entertainment center, one through the chair and one through the door, but there were only 3 bullets fired. So the one through the chair must have been the one that went through the door. That puts him over here by this pillar. I guess that's cover, right? I guess that pillar would make sense. You know, and it's very possible. Well, no, because I think it says through the entertainment center, but it could be this one here with looking from the other side. I'll have to go look again, but there's one obviously down here, and the shells are right here. The shells are in this little area right here. What the fuck? Oh, that's creepy. Google's updating some bullshit. Yeah, so the shells are down here on the floor next to where the scope and the table is. Up and to the right, man. Up and to the right. So he was behind this pillar, maybe. Behind these chairs, maybe. I guess. It's the only thing I can make sense out of this. Yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense to me, you know, with where the bullet casings are and where the shots were fired and the spread of the shots. But see, that causes even more issues with what I'm trying to say with this. It causes a lot of issues. Now here's the cabinet, I believe, that was shot through. Oh no, it's right here. It's on the wall. So I guess it's possible that this was the bullet that lodged into the looks like it came out. This could be the bullet that lodged into the bed, I guess. Right there. But we get an idea that that was a little higher. So I mean, it's hard to tell with these damn pictures because they didn't give us enough. But that chair is pretty close to the damn doorway, if I remember right. So this is the doorway. That's the white chair. It's what, a couple feet, and the bullet landed right dead in front of it. So we're talking about a couple feet in front of the door, next to the doorway. So what are we talking about here? Well, basically right where the chair's at. So, but of course that would be, I mean, the bullet could have bounced too, so it's not a big issue. But through this wall, or it could have been through this wall up here. It could even, no, it couldn't have been this one down here unless it bounced around a little bit. Couldn't have been the one into the cabinet here. Am I even on the right page? Yeah, I am. I guess it could have been the one through the cabinet, because it was the one through the cabinet. The hell did I? Okay, there it is. The one through the cabinet would have had to have rattled around a little bit and then shot upward, because that thing in the other room looks a little higher than this cabinet. It's higher than the cabinet in that room, which I'm guessing is kind of the same height. I don't know if it's the same exact cabinet. Might be, actually. I mean, there's some goofy stuff going on. No, it's, well, yeah, could be. Let's see. Yeah, it's got that white Formica bullshit top. No, that's a different cabinet. That looks like a totally different cabinet over here. But yeah, it's a little higher than it. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Because, yeah, that's a tough one, dude. You know, figuring out where he was, I mean, that was kind of something we were throwing around for a while, trying to figure that shit out. Let's see. These bullet holes came from a SWAT officer's rifle. These casings came from a SWAT officer's rifle. Yeah. So yeah, you know, the fact that they're down here on the floor down here, tells me he might have been hiding up behind this pillar right here. That might have been his cover. Hell, he could have had his gun on the door, right? Since that door is recessed, he doesn't really have to worry too much about debris coming over here. I guess it's a good angle, right? Looks like a pretty good angle, actually, because the door's recessed, right? And it's recessed behind another fucking door, so he's got a lot of clearance there, and he can't see in that room once the door is breached, which I don't think that any one of them could, because I think they had to push the door down afterwards. I don't think that breach was all that successful. But yeah, it almost seems like he was hiding somewhere over by this pillar somewhere, or behind this this table here. But I guess, you know, and he could have done it, right? He could have done it, because I don't want to see this injury lawyer shit. Yeah, I guess he could have done it. Let's see. When is second breach? That's the original. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I don't think. I mean, that's a possibility, right? Lined up by suitcases, because then those bolts would just bounce off the wall. But I don't think so, right? Because, like, would you be in the path of a fucking explosive? Sounds like a bad idea. It just sounds like a horrible idea. So I don't know. I don't know about that. Where those shots come from? A lot of smoke, man. A lot of smoke from that. Okay. So I'm guessing. Excuse me. Fuck. I'm dying these days, man. Fuck. Falling apart. I want to get a better shot of that. All right. Is that Levi? I don't think that is, to be honest with you. I think Levi's in front. I think Levi's first in the stack there. This might be O'Donnell. Again, I'm not even sure which of these guys O'Donnell is at this point. But Levi had, I believe, nods on his helmet, which would be the guy in front there, most likely. It's not this guy. It's not the third guy in line. It's not the fourth guy in line. So, yeah, but there's two people in the room right now, and they both went to the. They went to the right. They immediately went to the right. They're not even worried about like somebody hiding under the bed to the left there. They both went to the right. That's kind of trippy. Oh shit! I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I do that a lot, dude. I'm switching between screens so often. I'm sorry about that. All right, here we'll show this again. So this is breach number 2.
Where did the shot come from? Was that?
Actually, let's get the full effect. I want to hear the shots. Oh, you could hear it right there, man. Shit, I could actually hear that. And you can see the flash is a little bit less, just a little bit. No, I do that all the time, bro. Like StreamYards is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes because I got so many windows open. I never know which one I'm actually using and which one's actually showing. Okay, so here we go. After the breach, because you'll see a big flash, and then you'll see another flash like immediately after. Yeah, bro. You could even see his smoke on that, right? It looks like you can see smoke on that. Now, I don't know if you can here. Let me do this. All right. You might not be able to because of the way I have this set up. Maybe that'll help a little bit, at least make it a little bigger. No, that's not smoke. That's just light. That's light reflecting off the ceiling. That's what it looks like to me. Let's see if we can pause it. Yeah, you can see the flashing on the ceiling. That's what that is. It's not smoke. Yeah, that's just flashing.
Where did the shot come from? Was that?
All right, so right here, I said we see if I can get it paused right. We see 2 cops inside the room at this point. And like I said, I'm guessing that's Levi in front and maybe O'Donnell behind him. Not sure who the third and the fourth guy are. think the fourth guy is the guy that came up with BitScope. Guy with the shield? I'm not sure though. But it's interesting because these guys go immediately in, they go to the right. They don't go to the left, they go to the right. I mean, you had a bed there with a broken window, dude. It's like, you're not afraid of that? I mean, I'd be a little worried about that shit. I'd have one go right, one go left, but I guess not. So Levi went deep. Looks like Levi's looking into the bathroom right now. Or somebody. Who is that? No, it's probably Levi. Just looked like somebody with hair instead of a helmet, but yeah, it's probably Levi.
Kill your weapon light. Kill your weapon light.
Okay, they just knocked the door down. Where's the... Oh, the other door's open. Okay. So where was the door originally? The door... Oh, so they kicked the door open and then went inside. Wait, where is it? Let's see. I can't. I forgot the timestamp on it. Okay, so there's the door. There. Where was it before, though? That's what I want to know. I don't know. Maybe it's just the headphones I'm wearing, but yeah, I can hear those shots, dude. Like it sounds like 2 shots, but yeah, I'm sure it's 3.
Where do those shots come from? Was that
Okay, so the other door is open inward right there. Yeah, it's open inward. And you have 2 cops in the room. You have a third, looks like he's going in.
Kill your weapon light. Kill your weapon light.
Oh, come on, man. It's helping me see shit. Checking himself out in the mirror. Look at that. All right. The volume's annoying, man. I don't need to hear fire alarms. All right. So do we get anything in this room? So I'm trying to see, like, there was some people saying in the early days, and I kind of was like, yeah, it's plausible that the police moved all these cushions to look underneath them. And that's why in the final report it says all the cushions were stacked up. Go look at the final report. I'm kind of curious. If I can find it again. Shit, where was that? Oh my God. I got so many tabs open on this thing. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so so the cushions they're mainly stacked up on this couch right here. They would look higher than the couch itself in the video. It's really hard to say because he's blocking it. And I think that's the only view we're really going to get. Let's do the breach again. Oh shit. There's wait, what are you talking about? Oh, we talking about there's that white thing next to the window. What white thing? What are you talking about? Bam, bam. Okay, don't want to hear the show.
Kill your weapon light. Kill your weapon light.
There we go. The glamour shot. Look at that. Take a selfie. What a stud. Yeah, it's hard to see, man. It looks like they are. To be honest with you, it does kind of look like they are. Yeah, it looks like they're stacked up right there. Why? I have no fucking idea. Yeah, it looks like they're a little fucked up. I don't know what you're talking about, a white thing in front of the window.
Coming out! Coming out! Coming out!
Again, there's the wind, dude. Look at that, dude. Look at that wind.
Coming out!
Look at that wind hit that cart. That thing's fucking chucking, man. That thing blow down that hallway if it wasn't up against that little post. What we gotta say here? Let's see. Why do you think after the officer went to the window, he didn't say anything like, "Hey guys, come look," or nobody else went to look? Well, some of the people probably already saw it, to be honest with you, because he was pointed in that direction. Here, we'll go back because you must have missed that part of it. We kind of went over the other video. Let's go. Give me a sec. I gotta watch a damn advertisement to get back to that video. Oh, what the fuck? All right. So just for humor's sake, I'll show. I'll go into what you're talking about here a little bit. We'll look at it. Yeah, fuck YouTube Premium. I ain't giving them any more money than they fucking. Nah. Fuck them. I don't like Google. Yeah, up to this point, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of fucking Google. Although getting rid of ads would be nice, but does it get rid of all ads, or does it just get rid of, like, if the person's channel is monetized, does it still show their ads in the middle of their, I mean their ads obviously, but no, I mean the show ads in the middle of their videos, just like if they're monetized, does it just get rid of the ads in the front? No ads? Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's worth it. I mean, okay, so here's the problem, right? I'm going to rant a little bit about that bullshit because that's fucked up, because basically what YouTube did is it didn't used to have any ads whatsoever. And then it only had ads on videos that are monetized. Then it came out with this subscription bullshit. And then they started throwing ads all over the fucking place. So basically you had to buy that premium thing if you didn't want to see all that crap all the time. So they kind of forced you into it, which sucks. But that's my rant. Okay, so here we go. Again, this is Concerned Citizens video. I love using his video, especially for shit like this.
Make sure everything's out. Hey, listen, guys. You need to go elsewhere and help out.
Shit, half the views on his video now are me.
Let's do it.
Anybody on the 32nd floor, can you copy my radio? Yeah, go ahead. All officers code 4. All officers are code 4. Now, the suspect is there on 419. Appears to be self-inflicted.
Okay.
Is there any more suspects with you? Negative. Negative. We only have the one suspect who appears 419 this time.
Now, Corey, you got to understand also, Corey just walked into this room about, I don't know, a couple minutes before this. So Corey's new to the room. Levi's in there. Levi's been in the room. This Brett Brosnahan also just walked into the room. The two guys with the hats on, one guy with the baseball cap and the other guy with the boonie hat, they both just walked into this room. So they're fairly new to the room right now. They haven't had a chance to really look around. The rest of these guys have been marching through this room looking around. Except for Bitsko here. He seems to have a little more self-control. He don't give a shit.
Has the room been cleared? The room has been cleared. We have protection in the room. What else needs to be cleared up on that floor? Already done it. The wing that this floor is in has been cleared. The other wings on this floor still need to be cleared, Kevin.
Okay, and so I started with this. It looks like the dude with the boonie hat. I was wrong about this before because I always thought that this was Corey. It looks like that is, or it looks like the guy with the boonie hat is Corey. I always thought that was O'Donnell, to be honest with you, and it definitely isn't because this guy wasn't even in the room when the second breach happened. So because we do see him walk into the room, but that is, I guess, Corey. I always had these guys fucked up because I thought Corey was the guy with the baseball hat, and I got checked today on that. So, got straightened out a little bit. So that's good. That's good. I kind of got my, and that's the reason for this video originally.
Hey, Kevin, this room is contained. We don't need anybody else up here. We've got probably at least 10 high-powered weapons in this room. It's on the 32nd floor. I'll stand by, see where the weapons to alert to. Whoever's on that 32nd floor, the north-facing window, is that one broken out also?
Okay, so now you got the CP on the ground. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're on the ground. I don't know if there's guys in the helicopter calling this in or what's going on, but they're asking if which window's broken. Yeah, so they're trying to figure out what's going on up here.
Yeah, moving to the 32nd floor, CP. Well, here, I can't tell what direction this room is. Let me get to a window and see. You guys.
All right, so again, this guy just came into this room right now. He don't know shit, So now he's trying to figure out which window it is because CP's asking him what's going on, which window is it. Now here you got you guys. There's a window that faces east. You all know the broken window out there. We're focusing on, but we just need to make sure if it's you guys in there or not because there's a little bit of movement, right? So probably seeing lights and stuff like that outside of the curtain there going on. And this window here, the one that's not broken, they probably don't give a shit about because they probably think that's a different room altogether. That's what it seems like when they're talking. Because say there's another room with the window broken out when they say they have the window with that's not broken.
The window that faces east, you have another broken window out that we're focusing on, but we just need to make sure if you guys are in there or not because there is a little bit of movement. Target's clear. One suspect down. All officers are code 4.
All right, so at this point, they're over at the window behind the couch. Obviously, that's not the right one. Obviously, the one is behind this cop right here. That's the one we're looking at. That's the one they should be looking at.
Keep pushing. We still.
Now you got it. It's bowed in again, man. That window is fucking bowed in. I don't think that's a chair behind that window. I don't think there's any nonsense with that window. The only way, again, to get this effect, I've said this before, is to put some sort of boning in this curtain to make it bow out like that, which is something they did in Victorian dresses during the Victorian era, and they still do it at your local Renaissance fair once in a while. So I don't think they're hiring seamstresses to come in here and alter these things, just so some dipshit like me can come in and go, aha.
So that's just reproducing. Keep pushing. Get here. We are facing north. We are facing north. Just confirming that is you guys. That's in the broken window. That faces the rock source.
Now, if you want to get weird about this shit, you want to throw a conspiracy behind this, and I mentioned this last time. If you want to get all crazy with the conspiracies on this shit right here, and Hoover isn't even smart enough to figure this shit out, apparently. Yeah, it's blowing. Yeah, it's blowing right there, man. What are you talking about? It's not blowing. Look at that shit. That shit's blowing in, dude. All those windows, all those curtains are flat. Every single curtain is flat. They're all dark because they're in the background. They're flat. This thing's got a light on it. This light is reflecting off that curtain, and that curtain alone, right? That curtain's in. It's sticking in. That's not a flat fucking curtain at all. That curtain is fucking blowing in. It is what it is, man. It's not all crumpled up right here, right? As if it was flat, it would be all, I don't know, pleated, I guess you'd say. No, because, okay. So I'll try to explain this again, man. I guess, yeah, I've explained this a bunch of times. What's happening to this curtain right here has zero to do with the wind. The wind that night was not that bad. Somebody else looked that up. I don't really give a shit, because to me, that is not the wind. That is not the fucking wind doing this. Has nothing to do with wind speed whatsoever. So just dump the whole idea of wind speed. What this has to do is air pressure. You're looking at a casino. A casino is basically a giant vessel that is sealed for the most part. It's not going to be completely sealed, obviously. There's going to be cracks and stuff here and there, and leaks. But it's basically a sealed fucking unit. You have a certain air pressure that's outside of these windows and a certain pressure that's inside, right? Inside the room. So I'm almost willing to bet you, if we could have seen this room before the breach, that this curtain would have been flat. It would not have been blowing in. It just would have been flat. And maybe have a little bit of movement. That would have been where wind speed made a difference. But the air pressure within the hotel would not have made a difference whatsoever, because these doors were closed. And, you may have had some wind going through because you had 134 open at the time. Now this here is, this is definitely after the second breach. So 134 is definitely open at this point. But what you have here is you have airflow, and we can't see 134. So we have no idea what 134 looks like, right? Shit could be blowing crazy in 134. We wouldn't know. That window could be completely exposed. The curtains could be open on that one. We don't fucking know. But what you have is basically what it looks like to me is you have positive air pressure on the outside. You have negative air pressure inside the casino, right? So since there's negative air pressure inside the casino, as soon as it reaches the outside world, it's got to equalize. All the pressure has to equalize. What's happening is the high pressure from outside is coming into the casino. It's going to be pretty standard. It's not going to be like wind. It's not wind gusts. It's none of that. It's just straight up the air in the outside is trying to come in, and it's trying to equalize the pressure from the outside to the inside. Eventually, it's going to equalize the pressure, and it's not going to be a big difference, right? This is going to go down, and it's, the window's going to go, the curtain's going to go flat, and then you're going to have wind speed, right? Then you're going to have the wind blowing the curtain one way or the other. That's when wind is going to matter. And then I think that's why the next day you probably had the wind blowing into 134, and they probably left that door open to 134, 135, and it was blowing this curtain outwards because you probably had airflow, wind speed coming in from the east and then shooting this curtain out to the north. So that's what I think was happening. But this here, none of that really matters the next day. We're talking about right here. because I don't think anybody, even Hoover, doesn't. Even Hoover does not argue that the window was broken the next day. He can't, And again, all this came from Hoover. This is all fucking Hoover shit. And so the problem is, and I get it, dude. Hoover has to hold on to that theory. He has to, because otherwise he's full of shit. His channel's fucking busted. He's lost all credibility. This is where he started, was with this broken window bullshit. The helicopters. In order for helicopters to be a thing, nobody could have been shooting from this room. In order for nobody to be shooting from this room, he had to kind of prove that this window was not broken. This guy didn't shoot anybody. Yeah, okay. I got a room full of guns with fucking dudes, man. Oh, you got flashing lights in the sky. I don't fucking buy it. But anyway, enough ranting about fucking Hoover. But yeah, this is coming in, dude. It's coming in. It's blowing in. But it's not going to be like wind gusts, dude. It's going to be the high pressure from outside coming in with the low pressure from the inside. And then once that door is broken down, the reason I say this curtain would have been flat up until the point of the breach is because this had time to equalize the pressure in here. This is a small, volume of air inside of these two rooms. So, and it had plenty of time, had an hour plus to equalize that pressure. It would have equalized that pressure pretty quickly within just a room. Once that door was broken down into the hallway, all of a sudden, that's why you see the wind going down the hallway and stuff like that, because what you got, and it's not wind, it's pressure. It's air pressure. You just got air movement. And what you're getting is you got the high pressure from the outside blowing through this curtain, and then now blowing through 134, but originally it was just blowing through this curtain, and it was whipping down that hallway, because now if you have all this equalized to the pressure that's outside of the windows, the outside world, well, now it's got to equalize with the hallway, the fucking stairwell, any doors that are open, any rooms that are open down that hallway, the elevator banks, however far it can get down those elevator banks before that gets sealed with somehow. It's got a lot of room to fucking do. So within a couple hours, I'm guessing by the time the morning hit, the pressure probably equalized with everything outside of this room. And you probably didn't have any more problems with that. You probably wouldn't have had this blowing in and stuff like that. But here, this curtain's blowing in, bro. It's blowing in, dude. This curtain does not look like, again, this argument, man, it always comes up. Those curtains don't look like those curtains at all. Like, those are all crumpled up, just chilling. It don't look like that at all. Let me find the one for that actual window itself. Well, obviously they pulled the curtain back right there. They pulled them back, so you can't really get much of a thing on that. But even here, we got this curtain, the one with the weird, pattern on it. We got that curtain blowing in. It's blowing in right there. This is not flush, dude. This is not a straight line. The brown curtain looks like it's a little disturbed. This other fucking curtain, it looks like it's even a little disturbed. It looks like the wind is blowing behind these curtains and blowing all of them out a little bit, slightly. Okay, well, we can talk about that too. Let's see. Yeah, well, okay, so here, let me go back to that, because I'm off that screen. So where do you think this cop's footprint was? Matt, where do you think his footprint was? Now, I'll admit, he was actually stepping on some glass. He was stepping on some bullets, but he wasn't, I know a lot of people like to say, oh, his foot was right in that fucking pile of shit. His foot was not in this pile of glass right here. And that's pretty fucking obvious when you look at it. Where's let me see, there's another photo around here that I could look at. Okay, I think it's this one. Yeah, so we're looking at this, right? where he was looking, he wasn't standing directly next to this chair. I mean, kind of was, but he wasn't, right? He was about even with this chair. We'll see it right here. And this is the third video I've done about this. Okay, so see, right there, he's saying, yeah, you're looking at the wrong windows. Basically, what he's saying. Looks like you might have another room that has a broken window that faces the Luxor. This is the window that faces the Luxor, right? It's not the other one. It's this one. The other one faces the airport. So this is the window this guy's talking about on the radio. So he doesn't realize that this is all one big room. He thinks that this might be multiple rooms right here and that they're in the wrong room. Now, to your argument that the curtains aren't moving, these guys are seeing the curtains move. They see the curtains moving. They're admitting it right here. They're saying it right here. We're only getting tiny glimpses, right? We get like some freaking, camera on a bungee cord. They're actually paying attention to this thing. They probably got snipers on it and all that sort of stuff. All right, so here we go. There's Corey. All right, so Corey's stance right there, right? Now he gets a little closer. I'll admit to that. He's right up against this pillar. He's right up against that pillar. And that's what you got to kind of remember is his hand, I believe at one point is actually touching. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, guys. Fuck. I did it again, dude. I'm not showing you the video I'm looking at. Dude. All right, I'm going to go back to this because this is what I just explained.
It looks like you might have another room that has a broken window that also faces the Luxor.
Okay. So again, that window 135, that's the one that faces the Luxor. 134 faces the airport. So he's definitely talking about the window that's facing the Luxor, which is the window 135. It's not 134 that they're talking about. Again, whether they have snipers on it, whatever they're doing, however they're looking at it, if it's a helicopter that we don't have footage to, I don't fucking know. But they're looking at the window. And they're saying there's movement in the window. So, to them, the curtain is moving somewhat, it's not blowing like, people want it to, but it's moving.
I know this. So a little bit of movement, I know if it's going to be a curtain or not. I'm going to be working to get better on.
All right, so there we got Corey, right? Corey's touching the post, basically.
We've got curtains open on a window that's not broken.
So it looks like he's right up against the post. His ass is in the room, and he's looking out that window. His head is probably on the far side of that post, right? So now if we look at, if we go back to the report, which I got to close the tab here just to make this easier on me. We look at this, right? So Corey was standing right about where the curtain is right now. I mean, that's where his head would have been, is right about where that curtain was. He would have been looking to the right out this window. He was not looking directly out the window. He was looking down to the right, most likely. And that's what it looks like from here. So how much glass is there, right? You got most of the glass sitting up here. He was not up there with feet in glass, not all of it. Obviously, he was going to have some. He's not completely out of it, but because there's shit everywhere. But, if we look at this, right next to this hammer is the pillar. So Corey's feet were right here. Corey's feet would have been right where there's not a lot of glass. There are some bullet casings. I'll give you that, man. He crushed a couple of these bullets, most likely. He may even have kicked this hammer or stepped on this hammer, but he wasn't over here in the fucking mess. Obviously. I mean, that's just what we have in the video. And he does move a little bit. I believe he moves a little closer.
Okay, it is that. We have the broken window. That's scared.
And he's leaning, right? He's leaning over. The other problem you have with the idea of people, of when people say stuff like that, is this. Right? His head, I'm guessing, because I'm guessing where the breaking point is on this window is probably about what, 3.5 feet. The chair, we're at a wonky angle here of the chair, so we can go look over here, I guess, and see what that. No, we don't have it, on here. That chair is pretty short, man. That chair is pretty short, but generally that chair is going to be what, 2 feet, 2 feet tall, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe about 2 feet. But we're at a weird angle, right? We're shooting down angle on this, so the chair's going up. I would say about halfway up this window if you got down and took a straight picture. So you're talking about 2 feet midpoint. Maybe you got 3.5 feet, 3.5 feet, maybe 4 at the most, right? How tall you think Brett Brosnahan? Brett Brosnahan. How tall you think he is, right? I mean, we can give him average height, 5'8". Say he's 5'8", right? So his head is up at the top up here. His head is up here, looking downward through this broken window, right? So what's the danger? You're not gonna be that worried about falling out this freaking window, when it's like half the size of you, which means you're gonna have to bust out the rest of this window to fall out of that. Now 134 is a bit different, man. 134 is a little fucking crazy. That would be a little fucking hairy putting your nuts to the window on that one. But this one here, nah, it's not a big fucking issue. And I believe there was a big triangle piece of the top of this window that fell out later that night. I believe that was the 2:30 in the morning or something like that, when you had the cops down below and all of a sudden you hear the glass. They're saying, yeah, glass is still falling. I believe it was about 2:30 in the morning, something like that. So it was way after this, right? So some of this window was still intact. Not a lot of it, but some of it was still intact. So this guy was just looking. I mean, that's why he's looking down. He's leaning over. He's trying not to step in this stuff because he's leaning over. He doesn't have his nuts on the window. And so right about where this hammer would be probably one of his feet. The other foot would probably be a little bit forward of that. There ain't no glass there. No glass. There's some bullet casings, a few of them, but there ain't no glass there. Bullets all around the gun. Look at the floor right there. There's bullets all around the gun. What are you talking about? Yeah, dude, but okay. I don't know how to explain this to you because I can't get a paint project out and actually paint the pictures. But he wasn't standing on this gun. He wasn't standing on the gun, in front of the gun. He wasn't anywhere near this gun. He was near the post. So the post is not where the gun's at. The post's over here. And we can see the hammer in the picture. This guy's arm was touching this post right here. So, yeah, he's right next to where this hammer's at. He's not next to the chair. Right? So he's not standing in this fucking mess of shit. He's not standing in that. He's standing by this fucking hammer. And like I said, I'll give you that, man. He's going to step on a couple of shells here, dude. Obviously. That shit's everywhere. But, we're not looking at a Roadrunner cartoon. He's not going to slip on this shit and fall out that window. I wouldn't be worried about that shit. You step on a couple shells, big fucking deal, dude. It's not a banana peel. So, I don't understand the logic behind, well, you can't step on bullet shells because that would cause you to automatically trip and fall. No. I mean, even if you stepped in this pile of glass, dude, it doesn't mean he's automatically going to slip right out that window. I think it'd be a stupid thing to do, but I don't think that's what he did. But yeah, so you see. Yeah, so you see his foot is actually behind the pillar, the post. His back foot is. His front foot is forward of the pillar, right? So let's look at the pillar. All right, so we got the pillar, we got the ground, we got the hammer, right? So his foot, his back foot, would have been right about here. I don't know if you can see the cursor on this or not, but let's say lower part of the hammer on the, past the hammer, about I don't know, 6 inches down from the hammer. So he's not there. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. His back foot is solid. There's nothing there. There's no bullet casings there. There's nothing. You could argue maybe this is, but I mean, who knows? With this carpet, who the fuck knows? His forward foot would be up here by the hammer, right? There's a couple spots you can get your foot in there to where you're not going to step on brass. But I mean, even if you step on a shell or two, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? You're going to squish it, dude. It's not a big fucking deal. It's just there. He was not, obviously, by looking at the video, he was not stepping in this large pile of glass right here. He wasn't stepping anywhere near this gun. Well, not really, but I mean, he was probably a good, 6 inches to a foot away from that gun. He wasn't stepping anywhere near that. It's hard to tell scale on this because of the picture, but nah, I don't buy that argument at all. But anyway, so, cop looking, let's see. Oh, well, in the video, the cop looking behind the window, you can see the gun on the floor, and there's supposed to be bullets all around it. Can you? I don't see the, let's see. There's supposed to be bullets all around. I like that. Damn it. Shit. I should have been ready to pause, man. Damn it. Hold up. All right. So there's the gun. There's the gun. And I'm guessing that's the, is that the bipod? Is that the bipod on the gun, or is that the clip of the gun? Let's see. That's probably the clip of the gun. Okay, but we look at the clip of the gun. Clip of the gun sticks out. The bipod sticks out just barely further than the bipod. As long as he is to the left of this gun, he's fine. No glass, minimal shells, completely. As long as he's not stepping on this gun, he's fine. He's absolutely fine. There's very minimal shells and bullets and shit. And he's not. He's totally not. He's not even close to it. He's closer to the pillar than he is for that. And that pillar's probably, I don't know, fucking what? It's hard to say, but I mean, looking at Paddock's shoes there, say Paddock wears a size 12 shoe. So he's a foot shoe, man. It's probably about a 3 foot. Wait, I'm not sure on the right screen. So yeah, so we see here, we see the gun. We know where the gun's at. His feet aren't anywhere near it. They're not near it. They're not even close to it. And like I said, looking at Paddock's feet in that other picture, size 12 means it's a foot, literally a foot, and figuratively. You probably have 3 feet. Difference between that chair and that post. He was closer to that post, right? Human body is what, 2 feet? 2 feet wide generally. So yeah, he had a whole foot difference there, right? What's that gun? Maybe 6 inches? Well, maybe 8 inches or something like that. So he had a couple inches away. He was a couple inches away from that gun, man. He wasn't anywhere near it. I mean, that's the way I see it, dude. The way I see it is he looks like, and he's kind of digging into this curtain, right? So he's not looking directly out the window, obviously. He's trying to see what he can see out that thing. And that's because he's at a wonky angle. He's not at a good angle to be looking out that. He's over right here where that curtain is. So he's looking out to the side, So he's basically nuts to this wall right here, and he's looking down to the right to look out the window. And then we see him kind of messing around with the curtain a little bit. So he's most likely what he's doing is he's trying to stretch his head over so he can actually see down to the venue to make sure that that's where the firing was coming from. And he's probably doing it very carefully so he doesn't get his head sniped off by his own snipers, I would think. Anyway, that's my interpretation of broken window. But I mean, like, yeah, dude, like the guys outside see a broken window. Right. So we have people on the ground that see a broken window. I don't believe this was staged. I don't believe this audio was staged. I don't believe in any of that. This is real audio. There's a broken window facing the Luxor. This is the only window in this room that would be facing the Luxor. Obviously, because they're in the wrong window. They got the curtains open on a window that's not broken. That's not the right fucking window, boys. And these guys even are telling them that right here. Okay, so right there we do have the broken window. So yeah, that's what you got. There's and I'm guessing, I don't know, like I'm trying to figure out the communication between this guy and this guy as far as when he told him that, yeah, this is a broken window. It's possible he's the guy saying it's us, Corey, it's us. And I never even put that together until right now. All right, let's go back a little bit because I'm curious about that now. Yeah, that's what it looks like happened right there, right? This dude, again, they said this is Brett Brosnahan, I believe they said his name was. He goes over, looks out the window, and he starts screaming, "It's us, Corey! It's us! It's us!" And that's when he said on the radio, because Corey's standing over here on the other side of the pillar, looking out the wrong window, and that's when he says this. Yeah, we do have a broken window. Okay. Anyway, so that's the broken window, man. Broken window. Oh shit. Oh man, dude, I wasn't even sharing the right tab, man. I'm sorry. Did it again, dude. Did it again. I'll probably delete this video. I screwed up all night, man. I've been messing up all night doing that to you guys. Like StreamYards is weird, man, because you go to another window, you have to actually click on, the tab to do that. And I'm bouncing back and forth between these so fast that it's like I don't know which tab I'm on half the damn time.
I'm going to be working to get better on it. Okay, stand by. We've got certain section on a window that's not broken. We're looking for.
Okay, so right there you hear, see Brosnahan. Oh, he did put it in here. Oh man, I'm sorry, concerned citizen, man. I didn't even realize you put this in here. It's us, Corey. It's us. Tell him it's us. So this is the communication between Brett and Corey on the other side of the pillar. That's him telling him, yeah, this is the window. This is where it's at. And that's when he's saying, yeah, we have what he's about to say. It's us.
We have the broken window. That's us.
Okay, so there you go. That's kind of case closed on that. That's the good old broken window saga. I'm kind of curious what happens when after he did that, right? Because at that point he's going to have a mass pressure of air coming in, blowing him in the face right there. Let's see if we can see that. Nope. Um, yeah, that couch is all disheveled. So that was a Paddock thing, I guess. I guess he threw all those things. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. Got a view of the room a little bit there. Get some damage on the ceiling there. Yeah, you do. Let's see. Why do you think he had Mary Lou's player card with him? I think he probably always did. I mean, he was the one gambling on her card, most likely. You know, he probably he maxed out his comps, right? So he's maxing out her comps, right? So you get a room with your own comps. Well, then what do, right? Once you start running out of your own free little comps there, well, you fucking run up another card. What's the easiest way to do that? Use his girlfriends. You're not supposed to do that. Technically, if you put somebody else's player card into a machine, you start playing and you actually get a hand pay or a jackpot or something like that. Usually what ends up happening is they don't give it to you because you're not the one that's supposed to be playing. And they don't like that. But, you know, for a guy at that level, they probably don't give a shit, dude. They'll give him whatever the fuck he wants, you know, especially if you're throwing $100,000 at a time into a casino, dude. They're going to give you whatever the fuck you want. It's right. A point of racking up points. I mean, come on, dude. Like, don't you want free shit? Everyone wants free shit. Where do you think you got that pull hose from, man? You probably got it from Home Depot. Where do you think you got the Home Depot cards from? You got it from an MGM program, and we see the Home Depot card sitting on the bed. You know, you got that from an MGM program where they partnered up with Home Depot to, do exactly that. So, I mean, he wasn't paying for shit. You don't have to pay for nothing, dude. Everything's given to him by the casinos. He's living out of these fucking casinos, from what I understand, from what it looks like to me. Could be wrong, but it looks like he's basically living out of these fucking places for free. He's living on the casino's dime. But again, like, once they give you your, your 1 week stay for that month, and they're like, "Nah, fuck you. You already stayed a week there." Well, then what do, man? You run up your girlfriend's card, and you get a fucking room in her name. Yeah, cell phones are interesting. Yeah, cell phones are definitely interesting. He had a lot of cell phones, according to, and I should probably play that video actually. Oh, dude, and I'm still on the wrong damn video. I keep doing that. I've been doing that all night long, dude. But here, we'll go look at cell phone stuff. The moans and groans, I don't really give a shit about. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing that's just the nanny in the hallway freaking the fuck out because the kids across the fucking hallway. I don't fucking know. French ability test, I don't know. Rifles on ends. Let's see. Clumps of towels. Let's see. Cameras off. Yeah, that was strange. broken window, thorough, accurate, and unbiased. I know what that's going to be. Oh, search of Sarge. Those questions. Las Vegas she cracked out. Room 135 door. Background voices. Where was it? How many cell phones? There we go. Am I on the right one? Yeah, I'm on the right one. Again, this is off Concerned Citizens channel because he did all this. I didn't go into this as crazy. Let's see. We need to figure out the rest of the shoes are because we're gonna try to go up on wiretaps on the phones. So he's like, go in there and get any phones that you can, get the phone numbers off them, and start figuring it out. Who told him that? Let's see, but it was him, and he was Captain Tomiano. Okay. You need to start sending it down to us so we can get the wiretap, so we can start doing the emergency pens on the phone numbers that you retrieve. Wait. There's something interesting there, man, that he didn't really highlight because it's not what he's focused on. So I found a couple of drop phones on the counter, but they were obviously, thrown down phones and not the suspect's real phone. And I said, look, well, I don't know if he has his phone on him. I'm going to have to move him. And they're like, well, you got to move him. You got to move him. Or you got to look for the phone. You got to find it. A pen register is similar to a tap and trace device. A trap and trace device would show what numbers had called a specific telephone. All incoming phone numbers. A pen register rather would show what numbers a phone had called. All outgoing phone numbers. They are often jointly referred to as pen register or trap and trace devices to reflect the fact that the same program will probably do both functions in the modern era, and the distinction is not that important. The term pen register is often used to describe both pen registers and trap and trace devices. Let's see, on the 8th of October, Brick FBI that 3 cellular phones have been located in room 32135 at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. I believe it was 3, actually. Or I believe it's 4. There are 4 in there. Right. I think if we go to the evidence log, hold on, let me look it up real quick. It's going to be down below the guns. Okay, we can go to here. Lock interrogation, DNA. DNA is an interesting one too. Digital. Okay, yeah, digital's not. Yeah, that's not what a. Dude, so like, what are they saying on digital here? There are approximately 2,000 leads investigated. 252,000 images were obtained by investigators of the LVMPD and the FBI. Analysis found 500 sightings of Paddock. Dude, I am putting that FOIA in tomorrow. In fact, as soon as I get off here, I'm putting that FOIA in. I want those pictures. They ain't going to give them to me, but I want them. Let's Google Bing. Search queries, cell phones. So cell phones, 4 telephone numbers primarily used. Okay, so 3 cellular phones located. Okay, so 3. Yeah, 3 were located in the room. Shit, I had that wrong too. Shit, going back over this and realize I forgot more than I remember. 2 other telephone numbers were found associated with Paddock, which included the telephone number associated with Danley. Ooh, that's creepy. The Danley telephone number is the 227-7094. So what are they saying here real quick? 2 other telephone numbers were found associated with Paddock, which included the telephone number associated with Danley. Were found associated with Paddock. 2 other telephone numbers. Okay, so along with 3 cellular phones located in 32135, 2 other telephone numbers found associated with Paddock, which included. What are they saying? What are they trying to tell you there, right? Along with 3 cell phones located in 32135, 2 other telephone numbers were found associated with Paddock. So saying that he had 3 cell phones, 5 numbers? That's what it sounds like. Sounds like he had 3 cell phones and 5 numbers. 2 other telephone numbers. 2 other. So that indicates other, right? So that means 5. We found associated with Paddock, which included the telephone number associated with Danley. But the phone number associated with Danley is a 227-7094. Shit, I'm guessing the 3357 and the 3358 might be on the same phone. And then you would have the 702 number. 702, I believe, was the burner phone. Let's see. Let's scroll. Let's close this a little bit. Okay, so not what I was trying to do. Let's see. So there were no telephone numbers which contacted all of Paddock's devices. However, there were phone numbers which contacted more than one of his devices. The devices which use the telephone numbers 310-7094 or 7094, so it's Danley, and 3357 were devices most used by Paddock. They're not telling you those are the numbers that had more than one number, but they do say one of them was Danley, so I'm guessing, yeah, her number probably had multiple numbers that it could reach. And then Paddock's were these other 2 most likely. I'm guessing those might be the same damn phone because they're sequential. So he might have got that number at the same time as soon as the 310 area code started before they filled it up. And I believe the 702 is the burner phone. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what they prove. 7094 telephone number had 1,837 contacts, which is fucking, well, it's crazy when you think contacts in the context of your contact list. But when you think of contacts as she called 1,837 people within the life expectancy of this phone, it's not that big of a fucking deal, especially if you consider contacts as being part of texting. Then, 1,837 is not that big of a fucking deal. Of those contacts, 668, yeah, see, so it says of those, 668 were outgoing, 1,169 were incoming, right? So it could easily be text messaging. So it's not that big of a deal. 1,837. Yeah, you could rack that up pretty quick. The last hour's call placing from his number was on September 27, 2017, approximately 15:22. I don't remember. Someone did the math on the I don't want to do this right now, but the lock interrogation, all that sort of stuff. I think he was in the room for at least one of these. The last incoming call was on September 27, 2017. 10:58. So he got called at 11 o'clock in the morning. He called him back at with this phone at 3:22, and that's Stanley's phone. and that's call. So that's an actual call. That's actual phone call. That's not text message, any of that bullshit. That's an actual call. So I don't remember, 27th. I think he was in the room or something on that day, or at that time. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at it. I know I did this once before, and it's like, it wasn't that big of a fucking deal. So his telephone number had 1,615 contacts, right? So he talks to people less than she does. Yeah, he talks to people less than she does. Since the beginning of October 2016. So within a year, the phone might have been a year old. Within a year, he racked up 1,615. So again, text messaging, dude, I could do that in a fucking night. Of those contacts, 127 were outgoing. 1,488 were incoming. That's where things get interesting, right? He didn't talk to people very often, but he got a lot of people talking to him. Last outgoing call was on September 27, 2017 at 15:18 hours. Last incoming call was September 28th, 8:16 in the morning. Yeah, at least one of these he was in the room. I don't remember which one. But so this matches up with this. The 27th at 15:18, which is 3:18. And then he had 322. So this was the last outgoing call. Placed. So he called somebody from his phone, and then he called somebody from Mary Lou Danley's phone almost immediately afterwards, which is interesting. 702 number, telephone number associated with prepaid smartphone, and very little contact information. The last incoming telephone call was September 17th, 2017, 12:41. That was after, I believe that was after his stay at the, because I believe at the beginning of the month he stayed at the Tropicana. I think that was after. the Tropicana. Last outgoing telephone call was placed on March 30th, 2017 at 12 noon, basically. But yeah, he didn't like to talk to people. That's what it seems like. All right. So those are those phones. Those are the phones they found in the room. But what's interesting about this is we're missing a phone number. We're missing Mary Lou Danley's second phone number, which they may have left out because it may be her actual phone number she uses still, and they may have left that out. It may be the phone number to her that she uses overseas. I don't know. It may be a phone number from Manila or something like that. That maybe she just, but for some reason she didn't take her phone with her. I don't know why. It's weird if that's the case. But she could have had a Manila phone number on that. Anyway. Effort to gather intelligence to identify possible co-conspirator. 3 cellular phones were identified and appears to be connected to the following phone numbers. Yeah, it's the same number, 7094, 3357, 702. I guess that's the same. I don't even want to look at it. Of the 3 numbers, 7094 and 3357 were determined to be valid working phone numbers. The phone history of 3357 showed a contact, Mary Lou, had been called numerous times. So, all right. So she has another phone. So Mary Lou has another phone. What does that mean, though? So Mary Lou has multiple phones. Yeah, that's a little strange. Unless the other phone is not actually hers, the 7094. Unless that's not actually her phone. And this is her phone. And this just, because if you do a background report on Mary Lou Danley, this 227-7094 comes up as one of her phone numbers. This other one, I don't know. I'd have to go look at the report again. Because this is the first I'm seeing of this. I probably read through this and didn't pay attention to it when I read it. So far, we have 3 phones plus Mary Lou Danley's phone, which we'll later find out is under Stephen Paddock's name. 2 of the 3 phone are working numbers, and 1 phone is locked. Huh. So, like, all right, just spitballing shit here, right? The 3rd phone, the one that's locked up, could be something stupid. He could have been playing his music on it. I mean, I've done that. I've taken old phones, put Spotify on it, and just thrown it in my car and left it in my car forever just to run a Spotify account off of it. He could be doing something stupid like that. He could be using it for something other than phone calls and just running it off Wi-Fi wherever he goes. Okay, he didn't add in the 3358 number. 3 cellular phones have been located in room 125. But yeah, this being one of the rooms utilized by Paddock during the time he was firing weapons into the crowd of people gathered across Las Vegas Boulevard, Route 91 Musical Festival. One of the phones was found to be locked. S.A. Burke was able to locate the IMEI of the locked phone, which was IMEI, whatever. S.A. Burke served a grand jury subpoena to Verizon, who then returned subscriber information. And I actually FOIA'd that. They didn't give it to me, though. Well, they gave me something, but it was just dumb. It was nonsense. I should have asked for specific phone numbers. Well, the problem with the FBI, what they do is if you ask for a specific phone number, they're going to say, no, that's privacy related. They say, well, just redact it. They're going to say, no, it's privacy related because you're going to know what it is since you asked for it individually and you already know what the number is. So they won't give it to you. Stephen Paddock was the subscriber. Phone number assigned to this IMEI was 702-533-5316. Okay, so that was the burner. Wait, whoa. Come on. Give it to me. Let's see. In consultation with Verizon, learned that some of the data associated with telecommunication device assigned to phone number 702 was being stored by a third-party vendor identified as Synchronous Technologies, Bridgewater, New Jersey. All right, boys, we got something to do here. We got some investigating. Let's see, was it Synchronous? All right. I wonder if I could FOIA this, man. That's Synchronous. Or at least this is what came up. Global leader in personal cloud solutions, empowering service providers to establish secure and meaningful connections with their subscribers, or whatever cloud platform is trusted by millions of subscribers to safeguard cherished memories and important digital content. Okay, so it's a cloud service. It's a cloud service. Yeah, looks like a cloud service. Fucking weird, dude. How would you even find out about something like this? I've never heard of this fucking company before. How would you even know about that? That's not the same phone. Number 2 in the warrant. Was a warrant just an error? Was number changed to this one? Is a 5th phone? Wait. What did I miss here? 702-55. Oh, dude, really? That's not the same number? I was assuming it was. 702-482-6360. No, it's not. Shit. All right. So here's the deal with that. And this is what I think was happening. Because it makes sense to me. I've dealt with people who've done weird shit like this before. Let's go down 702 number and see what's going on with this. Telephone was associated with a prepaid smartphone that had very little contact information. Last incoming telephone call. Okay, who cares? When you're dealing with prepaid telephones, because like I said, I've had people do this before, you can change that number on a daily basis. Actually, I've done it before to do some shit in a fucking video game before, where they ban you by your phone number, and just to do bad things with that video game. That's what I did. But you can actually buy a prepaid smartphone, and every day, every 24 hours, you can change the number on it. They'll give you a new number. That's what I'm guessing probably happened. But he was dead. So we have a problem there. You know what? Yeah, it wouldn't work because he was dead. This MEI was a subscriber, and that phone number assigned to. So man, I don't know, dude. I mean, I'm grasping at shit here, but what if this was the original number that phone was assigned, and he changed it somewhere along the way to what it turned out to be? I mean, would their records be that shitty to where they're like, yeah, we just have the old number? Now, like I said, is that a fifth phone or is that a fifth phone number? Because he's had multiple numbers, and we don't see 3358 on here, so he's not adding in the multiple. So I'm guessing he thinks the same thing, that 3358 is probably the same number, same phone as this 3357. Although in the original report they said they had 5 phone numbers. So this new number. Wait, bro. Wait. 5316. Okay, so 533-5316. Okay, so that's the one. Number 5 is the one that's in the report. Number 3 is in the report. Number 1 is in the report. Number 4, I don't believe is in the report. Let's see. So you got a 7094. Yeah, we got that. 3357. Yeah, so it's on the report. So that one's not in the report. So we only got 3 of these in the report. The 7094, 1, 3, and 5. So 2 and 4 are the wonky ones here. All right. As a result of information provided from these pen registers, and sorry, I have to read all this stuff because I'm a slow reader. Detective Baker learned that 227-7094, which is Mary Lou Danley's, 3357 and 2591 are all subscribed to by Stephen Paddock. Oh, shit. Okay, so 2591, I think, is going to be a new one. On the 5th of October, 2017, search warrants for the Google accounts linked to the aforementioned phone numbers were reviewed and authorized by the Honorable, who cares, while reviewing this information provided by Verizon Wireless under the original emergency pen number register 4-310, 3357 number. It was discovered that 3358 was listed as subscriber contact number associated with this account. So he used 2 numbers for that account. As Paddock is a known subscriber for 3357, investigators believe that 3358 is most likely a contact number for Paddock. Yeah. So he linked 2 phone numbers to this. So he would have a lot of actual cell phones, physical cell phones, if he was doing this. But yeah, phone numbers, it's a little different. And I'll be honest, I've done this with work where I've had multiple phones, and I would link one phone to the other phone, and the work phone would be linked to my main phone, and that way when somebody called on the work phone, I knew it was work, but I only had to carry one phone around. So I've done this before. Oh, okay. He added that in. Yeah, that's in the final. Yeah, that's a final report one. So the final report is 1, 3, 5, and 6 now. 2 and 4 are the questionable ones. AT&T. Why do you have different carriers? That's so fucking bizarre. Unless you have like a phone carrier that's better for international travel, versus regular, stuff. It's weird. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you, man. Friend. I don't want to misgender you. Good to see you, though. Good to see you. It's been a while. AT&T's response indicated that Stephen Paddock had another account previously unknown to investigators. AT&T identified a phone number associated with this account, 702. So that's another Vegas account. 702 is a Vegas area code. Jesus, man. So on the 4th, you're okay. Account subscribed to Stephen Paddock using his social security number. Okay, so he did have a landline. It wouldn't be that 702 number, though, I don't think, because he did have a landline, I believe, in Reno. I think his Reno house had a landline. Yeah, so that causes problems. He lived in Henderson, so he could have had a landline in Henderson, which I think would be 702, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Someone who lives out there would know better than me. Let's see. What do you have to ask me? Do you know what happened to the final DIT report? I tried looking at some of my archives recently, and everything I have says the link is broken. DIT. What is DIT? Final fit report. Yeah. Okay. So you want to go to the final fit report here? I'll show you real quick. Okay. The fit report's fairly easy to find. So this is it. There's actually another one that if you haven't done this, you wouldn't even know about. But I don't think it really has a whole hell of a lot of information. So what you do is let's type in Google here. All right, we're going to Google. Stay signed out. Yeah, fuck you. LVMPD final report. What should come up is this first link. Information and resources regarding the 1 October. Click on that. You come up with this page here. First one is the original preliminary report. And then the second one is the final report. And the third one is something they came out with after we were all kind of dealing with this. Yeah, so this after action review is something that It doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of information from what I saw, but it's kind of new. You know, it is something that's fairly new. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to do that, that's how you get that. Of course, I screwed that up, but whatever. You get the idea. So yeah, just go on Google, type in LVMPD final report. It all comes up. Let's see. So you probably find it on archive.org too. I mean, there's people that just throw everything on there. So you can always find pretty much everything on archive. There's so much just weird shit on archive.org. So AT&T's response indicate that Sympathetic had another account previously unknown to investigators. AT&T identified the phone number associated with this account, 702-482-6360. Do I still have his... Oh, shit, I do. I have his freaking... his bullshit. All right. Well, we can do this. So we can go to this, and I have to finagle this a little bit to get this to work, because StreamYards is not always all that friendly with stuff like this. Let's go to Window. So start looking at this. This is his background report. I kind of cut it off because I don't really want to show his, well, he's dead, but his social security number's on there. We got a 310. There's the 227-7094. We don't see, which is interesting, we don't see the 3357 or 3358 on here. We do have a landline of 559 area code. The funk? And a 760 area code landline. What is well, it could be Texas and Florida most likely. Let's see, 559-760. I didn't expect to be really doing research on this tonight, but whatever. It's 559 area code. Let's see. So Central California. Okay, so that's the phone that he was using when he was in California City, I think. Would be 559. Let's see. The other landline was 760. I don't know why he put a phone in that house, but you know, whatever. So it's Oceanside, Escondido, Victorville, and Carlsbad. Was he in San Diego? This motherfucker, was he ever in San Diego? That's weird. That's weird. That'd be looped to him. Is my shit showing? Yeah, it's showing. Okay, we're good. But what are we looking at here? What numbers are we looking at? Oh, I don't know why they changed the link. You know, it's the LVMPD's changed a lot. You know, I just talked to them the other day about their FOIA process, and it's changed quite a bit from what it used to be. So yeah, they've got, I don't know, the LVMPD's goofy. They changed their website. They changed their entire website, as far as I know. So 702-6360. Let's see if it's on that page. 6360. Nope, not on here. In fact, none of them are on here. Mary Lou Danley's on here. Yeah, none of them are on here. Oh my God. If you want to freaking blow up this video, man, if you're listening as concerned citizen, there's all kinds of phone numbers for this dude. This dude had a ton of phone numbers. A ton. He had a lot of phone numbers. Let's see, the link change made my spreadsheet null and void. Yeah, they like I said, they changed. I think they changed their whole website because there's like a new what do you call it? A portal is what they love to call those things to to request information. So, I think they basically renovated their website. I think it was probably when McMahill took over. He probably went in there and changed all that shit. Uh, so the 702 account, I'm not seeing that as a landline. He did have a couple landlines though. I could see the AT&T one possibly being a landline to one of the houses, just because, it's AT&T, right? So it's Dish Network, it's all that sort of shit. So if you got Dish on your house, you probably got an AT&T phone number associated with it. But I don't know. Previously unknown numbers. Okay, so here, yeah, we just went through this. So I believe the 3358 is actually tied in with the 3357. I think that's probably the same phone. He just has two phone numbers for the one phone. The 6360 was the burner phone, but that is an individual phone on its own. Oh, wait. 4 telephone numbers primarily used by Paddock. Huh. I didn't read that. Primarily used. Okay. All right. Let's see. Seeing Paddock had 7 cell phone accounts. One was being used by Marilee Danley. Another was only mentioned once in a warrant, then never mentioned again. Was that one given to someone else, an error, or maybe contained some info they didn't want us to know about? Either way, it still leaves us at least 5 cell phones that he actually used. Yeah, I'd have to go back through the video, man, because I mean, just scrambled my brain, dude, trying to figure this out. I don't think anyone uses 5 cell phones, bro. I mean, I've used 2. I've never had 3, but I've used 2. And I actually, let's see. So when I had 2, I'll tell you this, man. Stupid story. Played a game called Ingress, right? They can ban me. I don't give a shit. Played a game called Ingress. Ingress had a thing where you had to use your cell phone to play the damn game, but the cell phone where they fucked up because it was a Google game eventually became Pokemon Go, and this is a fucking long ass time ago. But what they would do is they would ban you, if you did bad things that they didn't like. So what I was doing at one point was I had 2 cell phones. One was for work, one was for home. The work one I used to leave in my car, and I would just put it, like I said, Spotify or whatever. It would be linked to the phone number, though, would be linked to the one at home, my regular number. And I would set it up so that it didn't answer the phone for certain times because I wasn't working. But when I was working, it would turn on to where that second phone would actually, second phone number would actually ring on my main line. The third one was a burner, as a prepaid, phone. And that way, what you could do is, and you can do this with I'm guessing you could do this with like Twitter and shit like that. They may have a way of funneling this out at this point, but anything that goes off your telephone number, you can go get a prepaid, prepaid phone. They're pretty decent, they're not bad phones. You can download all kinds of dumb shit on it. And if there's something that's going to ban you by phone number, then you can just use that phone. And when it bans your number, you just get a new number, right? And all you gotta do, if I remember right, it's been a long time, but I believe back then, all you had to do is you had to go online and just type in, "I want a new number," and it would just give you a new damn number. Then all of a sudden, there you go, you got a new phone number, and through whatever chicken shit cell phone company you're using, and so I take it back. I did at one point carry 3 phones, but one I did not use for anything but gaming, and it was just to fucking be an asshat in the game. Wait. Legitimate work phones don't count. Why do legit? He doesn't even have a job, dude. Like, I'm confused there. Why does legitimate work phones not count? I don't understand. Unless it's under someone else's name, you're saying. I don't know. I don't understand that. Okay, I think that's it. But yeah, my story. Yeah, I've had multiple phones. So in this, you have 7 numbers or something like that. I believe he had here. I believe number 3, number 6 were the same. Yeah, contact number for phone number 3. So I wouldn't count those as separate phones. So it's just basically one. But you still have 6, and that's quite a bit, man. Yeah, Mary Lou Danley's phone, which is this 502, which I believe is also the 227. Oh God, if you're listening as concerned citizen, man, I have cell phone data, text message data that I FOIA'd from the FBI, and they sent me I think it was like 3 pages. If I remember right, it was like 3 pages. It was fucking nonsense. But I don't know what phone it was for. And the only text message on there that I remember, because it's an old video, I did a video on it way back in the day. The only text message I remember being of substance, because a lot of it was just, bullshit. And there was one of substance that said something like, and it was the next day after, it was like on the 2nd. But it said, "I know you have Mary Lou's phone. I just want to make sure that you're okay." So that was kind of strange. I know people put a lot into that at the time, but yeah, that was kind of strange. But that sounded like that might have been sent to Mary Lou's phone. And yeah, because it did say, "I know you have her phone." But so we got 6 numbers here. The last one, I don't know, man. It's AT&T. It's a different carrier. It seems like he used Verizon. Verizon has better coverage, mainly for the internet. At least that time it did. It was way better, and it was way more expensive. Let's see, 7094 supposedly is Mary Lou, I think, because it's on her background report. I saw it on the background report, which means, and it even says in the final report that there were 5 numbers associated to these 3 phones. So I'm guessing this 2591 is probably associated to the 7094, and for some reason Paddock had her phone because she was out of country. She probably bought herself a phone over there or something. Who knows? I'm surprised he didn't get her a phone that you could change the SIM card in. But those 2 phone numbers are probably identical. They probably go to the same phone. Why she needs 2 phone numbers, I have no freaking idea, man. Unless, I don't know. I can't picture why Mary Lou Danley would need 2 phone numbers that were 310 area code, because 310 is LA. Why she would even have a Los Angeles number in the first place, I don't fucking understand. Because as far as I know, she wasn't a Los Angeles person. Although, I don't know, he had a property in Los Angeles. This is something that I was going over Concerned Citizens videos the other day, and then I saw this. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna watch that. And I mean, the first run through this, man, I was confused as shit. And I'm still a little confused. I see where he's going with it, but it's like, this is crazy. This is very crazy. I mean, everyone always kind of said, oh, why has he got all the cell phones? Why do you have 3 cell phones in the room? It looked like one was Mary Lou Danley's. One was his. 3 and 6 were his, I'm guessing. Why they didn't show up in the background report, I have no freaking idea, man. That's weird. Unless that background report is bullshit, which is totally possible. Yeah, there's some new people. You should join in the you should jump on the Discord, and yeah, we've been talking on there. There's some new blood in there. It's been kind of chopping it up a little bit. Yeah, and when you do, if you do that, there's a person in there. If when you figure it out, there's a person in there named E. Ramirez. It's LVSA because it'll say E. Ramirez _ LVSA. Send him a message. You send him a direct message and talk to him, and he'll give you access to a bunch of stuff. Let's see. So so let's see. So yeah, so that way if you want to make channels or something stupid like that, I mean you can. But yeah, send him a message when you get on there. He's been looking for you. He's been looking forward to talking to you. They've asked about you recently. Yeah, they there's so what it is what's been going on, and the reason that I'm hitting this, again, because I was pretty much over this at one point. LVSA, well, what ended up happening is we had a flood of people in the Discord one day, and it was a little strange. But it looked like the Discord was getting raided. And you had one person out of this group of I don't know, it's like 8 people, all within minutes of each other. He joined, and his name in there is Comrade Chimp. And I don't know if he wants me to share his Twitter handle and stuff like that, so I'm not going to do it. But he's in the Discord, and he's actually, honestly, he's done more work in the last because he's only been around since September. He's done more work since then than most people have in 7 years. I mean, then I'd say all of the community has done in 7 years. This guy's digging up crazy shit, and he's been really good. So, because of that, he kind of lit a fire into everybody, because all of a sudden he's finding stuff that we didn't see before. And he's finding all kinds of, new stuff, because he's really good at digging up information. He's amazing at it. So, yeah, he's been finding some stuff, man, and it's been pretty interesting in there. But yeah, like I said, talk to LVSA when you get in there, because he's been looking to talk to you. But yeah, as far as this goes, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, I can narrow this down to 5 numbers, just with my head. One of these phone numbers is obviously a burner phone. And it's hard to say what the rest are. And like I said, it's possible that this guy was doing something weird where he was taking that burner phone and changing the number on it, so forth, so on. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. That's kind of why I logged on this morning, to be honest with you. Everybody had their own areas, like you said. With me, it was always I was always just looking for what was happening around the venue, stuff like that, trying to find, the people that died, how, you know, their kind of their final moments and stuff like that. You know, doing stuff like that. I got into a little bit of debunking the window stuff because, you know, I was led in that direction. JB told me one day to see if I could do it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Challenge accepted. So I got a little bit involved in the window being broken stuff. Turns out after I kind of looked into it and made a video about it, turns out that you already had Daniel James and Concerned Citizen had videos already put out by it. So, you know, I was a little late to that party, but yeah, that was always a thing, was the window being broken, you know. And but this here, when I originally logged on tonight, the idea was I was wrong about some of the cops' names. So I was trying to figure out who Corey was, and I'm just trying to figure out what the name of the guy with the boonie hat was in the room. Turns out that's Corey, you know. And so I was just kind of going through, you know, mainly Concerned Citizens video because he points it out pretty well to where it makes sense. But it didn't make sense to me until today. So, you know, the figuring out which cops were which was never my thing. I never cared. To me, you know, cop. I don't give a shit what their names are, you know, for the most part, you know, because it was just too much chaos to try and figure that out. But these guys figured it out, and then they were kind of straightening me out because to me, the guy who with the floppy hat there was always O'Donnell in my head for some reason. I think I was told a long time ago that's who it was. I think I remember who actually told me that now, and that person was wrong. And so I was always kind of confused by that. And I watched the video the other day, and I see the guy with the floppy hat walking in after they've already done the second breach. Well, obviously O'Donnell fired the shots in the second breach, so they can't be O'Donnell. So who the fuck is this guy? You know, and then they told me that's Corey. Well, I always thought Corey was the guy with the baseball hat because he seemed to be the guy that was in charge for the most part. And so I figured Corey was the guy in charge because it sounds like he was, you know, talking to the command post. He was the guy that was, you know, taking care of business. And yeah, it turns out that that wasn't that was Brett Brosnahan, I believe. And then Corey was the guy with the floppy hat. So I had it all mixed up, you know. And today I just kind of went through this and figured out who these guys were, because in the past it's never even been a issue with me. It's never been a question. Let's see. I did people and personal stories. No Facebook allowed. Strictly public news stories. Yeah, you dug a lot, man. I mean, that was crazy. But see, like, my thing was a little different from what you were doing. And I know you actually covered a couple people I know, and I've told you about that. But, you know, my thing was, you know, originally I got into this trying to find friends of mine who were at the concert, you know, just to get an idea of them running out of the venue or something like that, like what they were going through and stuff, trying to find them in video. And I never really did, you know, except the one guy you found and that you did a video on, and well, two really, but those people, only one of them was actually in a video, but the, yeah, those guys, I didn't even know them until, I think right before you made that video. I got to know one of them really well. And so, you know, to me, it was basically people started telling me like stories, you know, of people that died there, of people they knew that died there. And so I started going through trying to find out, okay, well, you know, you knew this person, you know, one of them was Rocio Gayen, and a friend of mine said he knew her really well. And so I went through, started scrubbing footage to find out, you know, exactly what happened to her. And she's all over the video. She's all over everything in there. So you can find a lot on her. You know, you can pretty much trace her steps from the time she started running to the time she died, for the most part. You know, another guy I work with said he knew Frazier. What's his name? Oh, I can't remember his first name now, because I keep wanting to say Brendan, but that's the actor. But Frazier, the one that died that night, the one that was in the wheelbarrow. And so I went on a mission trying to find, what I could on him. And I think we pretty much nailed that down because thanks to Howie, which was the one thing he actually contributed, he found out that that wheelbarrow with him in it ended up at the Luxor. And eventually the ambulance came, picked up the body, dropped it off at the intersection where the triage was, and we see it covered up. So that was kind of what I was working on. And there's a couple others that I found, just people I didn't know. But, you see, a lady get into an ambulance at one point saying she's having a problem breathing. And it's like, you find out, that when you start looking into the people that died, you're like, oh, she's one of them. She didn't make it. There's a person on the gurney at that time. I know who that girl is. She didn't make it either. So that was kind of a thing I was starting to do. But it burns you out. It burns you out a big way, man, because you're looking at, you're looking at bodies. You're looking at the worst of the worst as far as this stuff goes. I mean, looking at windows, looking at Paddock dead. You don't give a shit about Paddock. You don't give a shit about windows. There's no emotional attachment to any of this shit. Volleys and stuff like that. There's no emotional attachment to any of that. But once you start getting into, people that died, and you start going on to, Facebook pages and seeing that they had families and seeing the memorials and all that bullshit, it's just, it gets brutal. It gets really brutal. So that burned me out. And at one point I threw everything out. I had notebooks. I mean, just fucking folders of this bullshit everywhere in my house at one point, and each one had a different person's 58 of them. But it had each person's stuff in it. And I started to write down, what videos I could find them in, the timestamp, stuff like that. All the photos I could find of them, whether it's Facebook or just, the public photos they use in the, the LVMPD memorial sites and stuff like that. And, so I did a lot of work on that stuff, and after a while, dude, it grinds at you. It just kills you. Because you're just dealing with the most depressing part of this madness. And, and then you're always fighting an uphill battle with people that say, well, it didn't happen. So, yeah, there was a time when I was just like, fuck this, I'm done, and nobody was really talking about it anymore. So I felt like I was on an island. So I threw it all out, threw all that shit out. But I'm wishing I didn't. But at the same time, I kind of needed to at the time, just to kind of clear my head. I think it became 60. To be honest with you, I think it's 60. I think the official number is 60 now. I think somebody died a few years later of, I think during COVID even, due to complications from, their injuries that night. Because that's the thing, a bunch of them have died, but how many of them have died due to complications from the injuries they suffered from being shot. And I think it's 60. Yeah, I believe it's 60 now. You can look it up. But yeah, I mean, I think even when you see if you look it up on the Las Vegas Review Journal, I think if you find a current article, they will say 60 nowadays. I don't think they say 58 anymore. But yeah, that's, that's about it. That's all that's going on. Somebody asked in the chat here about the cell phones, how crazy the cell phones were. And I mean, after watching this video, the cell phones are crazier than, I think most people realize that I ever realized. And to me, it's just like, dude had 3 phones. Who cares? One of them's a burner phone, He could have been doing business on his burner phone. One could be Mary Lou Danley's. One could be his. It doesn't fucking matter to me. But, now that you kind of see, it looks like he had maybe a couple more. It gets into the territory of it being weird. And I don't think Stephen Paddock is trolling people on Twitter to where he needs a fucking burner phone that he can change the fucking phone number on. But not that we found. So I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, I think I'm gonna log off here, man. I've been on way longer than I thought I was going to be on, which is common, totally common. I'm going on 3 hours, dude. The hell. I was hoping to only have an hour of this because I was not planning on going into the phones, but yeah, this has been a long one. Anyways, yeah, it's good to see you, man. Sorry. Don't mean to misgender you, but yeah, it's good to see you. It's really good to see you. You should get back. Like I said, I don't know if you still have my email address. If you still have my email address, you can email me too, and I'll send you a link to the Discord. I could probably put it in here. You know what? I can. Let me figure out how to do it though. Let's see. Invite. Copy link. I think if you may still have an account in there, to be honest with you. So that's a Discord link. You may still have an account in there. I think you did. I'm pretty sure you're still in there. Yeah, good to see you, Matt. Yeah, you may still have an account in there. So if you have an account in there, just like I said, just log into it. Send LVSA a message. Like I said, you'll find him. His name is under E. Ramirez, LVSA. And yeah, just send him a message. Say hi to him. And yeah, you could be one of the moderators of the Discord or whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna shut this down because, man, 3 hours is way too long, dude. Nobody's gonna want to. I'm surprised I got 6 people in here, dude. No one's gonna want to listen to me ramble for 6 hours. But anyways, everybody have a good night, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Hey, copy that link too before you leave, because it's yeah, it's gonna be like 3 hour stream. It's probably gonna take a good 9 hours for this thing to upload to YouTube. So yeah, go ahead and copy that link. But yeah, I'd love to see you in there, and you could hear all the BS about Vegas that's been kind of going off, and talk to you guys later.